Hey everyone, this is Russell Brunson, and welcome to Marketing in Your Car.
Welcome to the Marketing in Your Car podcast, where you can increase your traffic, conversions, and sales in just 10 minutes a day. And now, here's your host, Russell Brunson.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys are all doing amazing. So, I am heading into the office now as normal. I probably should just quit saying that because you guys are all riding with me every day, and yeah, I know that's kind of game plan. But wanted to share with you guys a cool insight I had from 2 days ago. I need to preface it because in my mastermind groups every year, we get a group of amazing women who join who self-identify themselves. So I wouldn't say this if they didn't say it, but since they do, I can tease and I can play off of it. But they come in and usually the way they introduce themselves is like, hey, I'm so-and-so and I'm in the woo-woo niche. And so woo-woo typically means like all of the like mindset and spiritual healing and all these like things that are grouped in the woo-woo, right? And so that's kind of our joke as in the inner circle is just like, oh, you're one of the woo-woo teachers, and it's kind of funny. So with that said, I do believe in a lot of those kind of things, and I think there's a lot of value and stuff, a lot of cool things that kind of come from that. And so anyway, one of our members, some of you guys may have heard of them or met them, or if not, they're amazing. So their names are Justin and Tara Williams, and they run a couple podcasts, one in the real estate market, which if you want to flip houses, these guys are amazing. They flip like 100 houses a year, but that's not the kind of business I want to be in. But if you do, go check it out. I don't even know what the name of their podcast there is. They also run one called 8 Minute Millionaire, which is one of my favorite podcasts. It's really, really fun. And then Tara just launched a new podcast called I mess up the name. It's like the Energy Healing Podcast. And she launched it, and I kind of saw them launching it, but I didn't really know much about it. And then at the group, she got up and started presenting it and explaining what they're doing. And we were teasing. I'm like, oh no, you're like in the woo-woo market now. Like, you guys went from hardcore house flipping to becoming a millionaire to woo-woo in like a year, which is kind of funny. So, but it was awesome. And she showed kind of the process and the model that they're doing. And it was really, really cool. In fact, maybe I'll talk about it another day, but if you want to see like a really interesting, simple, clean model, I'm really kind of watching them close because I think it's cool. But if you go to tarawilliams.com and make sure you spell it right, I'll make sure my sister-in-law transcribes these. I'll make sure she goes to the right site so that it's right in the transcripts. If you go to tarawilliams.com, you'll see it. It's a very simple page telling a story. You opt in. They get you to listen to the podcast. The podcast pushes back to an energy healing call. And then eventually I'm sure it'll go to higher end coaching and a bunch of stuff like that. But it's simple. Podcast is the traffic generator. And then you look at the podcast. She did a really cool job, like when you come in, taking you through an indoctrination. It was like, first thing she introduces the podcast, second podcast episode, tells her story. And then after that, it goes through a 21-day, basically like jumpstart, right? 21 days of hope. They help you to become indoctrinated, understanding the energy healing, why she does it, how she does it, all those kind of things, which increases your desire to want to go get the coaching call and things like that. So anyway, needless to say, I'm going through the process. While she's at the mastermind, she reads my energy, totally the woo-woo realm of things. So if you guys don't believe in that kind of stuff, totally understand it. But I was like, it was strangely amazing and interesting and yeah, so we actually, during the mastermind, I had them come over and talk to my wife and I more about what they do, and did a session with us then, and then I drank the Kool-Aid, signed up, and paid them a bunch of money to do some of my own sessions. And so my very first call was on Monday, which was Memorial Day. So woke up early in the morning and did that, and it was interesting. I would say I've done a lot of coaching. Probably more than most people on earth, over the last 10 years. But I would say that it was the most specific personal development, life coaching, whatever you want to call it, session I've ever had. Like, I've had a lot of really good things that are, but the problems are more generic. The way she does things was very, like, focused on me. And anyway, I'll leave it at that because there's a bunch of stuff that are outside of the scope of this podcast. So I want to share that first off because I think the model is really, really interesting. But second off, during my session, I learned something really interesting about myself that I think would be good for you guys too. So therein lies what we're going to be talking about for the next 5 minutes, like to the office. So during my session, we were talking about just things and how I work. And she was asking me, she's like, there's some kind of wrestling analogy here that you need to figure out and explain to me. And I was like, okay. So I'm kind of thinking through it. And I don't remember exactly what she said to get me to this kind of come up or anything, but I remember kind of the moral of the story. And it was talking about wrestling. If any of you guys have ever been to a wrestling match, this is kind of how it works. When you're in high school, there's 6-minute matches. When you're in college, there's 7-minute matches. And so it's basically 2 minutes for each period. There's 3 periods. First period, both of you start on your feet. And then after the 2 minutes, or in college, the first period's 3 minutes. Then there's like a quick break. And the break literally is maybe 10 seconds. Like, it's long enough for the ref to flip a coin, see who gets their choice. Whoever wins the choice can say they want to go top, bottom, neutral, or defer. So top means that you get to start on top of the guy. Bottom means you get to start on the bottom where you're on the mat and the other guy's on top of you. Neutral means you go on your feet again. And defer means you let the other guy choose and you choose the third period. So that's kind of what it is. Top, bottom, neutral, defer. And so that goes really, really quick. You pick, I want bottom. And then right before you walk back to the center of the mat and you kneel down, you look back at your coach for a second, maybe 2 or 3 seconds. It's a really short period of time. Just long enough for your coach to be like, dude, Russell, like, he's leading his right leg. Like, look for that. Like you're missing it, but he's leading his right leg. Or, hey, Russell, keep your elbows in. You're overextending your arms, or whatever that little piece is that my coach is able to see that I'm not, because I'm right there. Like, my face is in the middle of this thing. We're beating the crap out of each other's heads, and all sorts of things are happening, and I'm aware of as much as my subconscious mind is picking up from all my training and my practice and everything. But there's things from the outside I'm not able to see just because I'm so close to the thing, right? And so I look back for a second. Coach is like, hey, your elbows are flying. Keep your elbows in. Like, oh, crap, I didn't realize my elbow, I'm getting out of position. Or, hey, look for the underhook on this guy. He's reaching. Or, hey, look for, he's stepping, or whatever that is, right? They're giving you like a second, maybe 2 seconds of like really fast coaching from an outside perspective. You go in the middle, boom, you start again. You go for the next 2 minutes, period ends. You come back, you reset, you're standing up, you look over the coach, and the coach is like, boom, here's like this outside nugget that you're missing. And then the match is over, right? And it's interesting is that if you look at those little things, like it's tiny periods of time, like seconds, maybe 5 seconds max, but you're getting this perspective from outside where you're like, from something that, you're like, I think about this a lot, like, for me, and I don't know if I'd say it's in all situations, but, you look like Tiger Woods, right? Tiger Woods is better than his coach. Like, typically when you're in competition, like, at that time, you're better than your coach. Your coaches may have been better than you back in the day, but they're not actively competing, right? So, like, that's like, you're the best, you're technically better than your coach at that period of time. But the coach still has a different perspective that you don't have. He's able to look from the outside and be like, wow, Russell's doing a lot of good things right, but this is where he's getting in trouble. This is the piece he's, or whatever those things are. And it's that outside perspective that you get for a second. And one of the big takeaways from my session with Tara was understanding that for me in my business, like, I'm in the heat of it. I'm going a million miles a minute. I'm doing all sorts of stuff, just like I am in a wrestling match. And the thing that I was missing was I wasn't taking that time to look back at a coach, look back at whatever, right? And it could be a coach, it could be a spiritual thing through prayer, which I think is probably more of where I need to be focusing at. It could be, whatever, but it's taking a second and looking back to get the outside perspective, so when you go back to battle, you have that ability to execute better. And so that's kind of what I wanted to share with you. And for each of you guys, it's going to be different. I think for me, and I'm going to be, that's one of my things I'm trying to work on for the next month or so and really figure out is where are those times for me. I'm not a big fan yet of meditation, but I know people are like obsessed with it, and like it seems like in my world everyone is getting more and more obsessed with meditation, and I just don't feel like I have the time for that right now. But some of you guys know I just bought a float tank, and so the float tank's going to my house next week. It's being delivered, and then when you do the float tank session, it's like an hour. You're sitting in this tank floating in salt water, and you just kind of sit there for an hour. So it's going to be like my forced meditation time. I don't even know how to meditate, so I'm probably going to, like, when I'm locked in there, push play on some meditation thing that like forces me to meditate. But it's going to be my time to force me to stop and look back at my coach, right? And so meditation could be a thing. It could be hiring a coach. I look at one of our inner circle members who's been killing it. Just finished a new webinar and sent it to me today. And like, I'm so excited, and I felt bad because like so excited about the webinar. But there's 3 like vital mistakes almost everyone makes in their webinars, and she made all 3 of them, and I was like, oh. And so I kind of like, and I always feel bad like being that coach of like, hey, this is the 3 places I see that you're already making the mistakes, because I know how much time they put into the presentation, all these things. But it's like that's what they're looking for, is like that outside perspective. I'm in the battle, I'm creating, I'm doing all this stuff, and it looks perfect to me. Look back at the coach. The coach is like, it's looking good, but you're overextending. Your elbows are out, or hey, you're stepping too hard with your left leg. That's why he keeps taking you down, or whatever that thing might be, right? So hiring a coach or mentor. I've been a big believer, and it's funny because I haven't for the last year and a half, just because I think ClickFunnels got a little crazy. But prior to that in my life, I always had a coach, someone I was paying for coaching, and it wasn't always like a business coach. Sometimes it was a health coach, a life coach, a relationship coach, and right now I've got my new energy coach. And so like it can be all sorts of different things, but always having some coach that you're paying so that you have someone to look back to and be like, hey, I need an outside perspective. What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? So again, it could be meditation for you, it could be prayer, it could be hiring a coach, it could be all those things combined. But kind of my big takeaway for this week is that while I am good in the heat of battle, I'm doing well, better than I've ever done, I need to take those moments to look back and get the outside perspective from somebody or something else that I might be missing right now. Because no matter how good I think I might be, I'm missing things, and so that's the outside perspective for. So anyway, that's what I want to share with you guys today. It's cool. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where kind of my journey goes with Tara as a coach for a little while. And just see the different things I get from that. So I'll share the cool stuff with you guys. But that was the big takeaway for me. So think about that, you guys. I'm sure that you're all amazing at what you do, but look back at the coach to get the outside perspective. And that's what I got. Well, I am almost the office today, you guys. I got calls. I hate days that I have calls, and I have calls from like noon till 4. It's killing me. I just want to build funnels. Anyway, so I'm going to film from 9 till noon. So I'm going to go bust out like 4 things really quick, then get on calls all day, and that'll be my day. And then tomorrow we've got all Dylan, Todd, and Ryan, my ClickFunnels co-founders / partners, are flying in for 3 or 4 days, and the next week we've got the whole team flying in. So tomorrow will be a fun day of getting crap done, planning world domination, taking a step back so we can move 50 steps forward, and it's going to be good. So anyway, I'm sure we'll be broadcasting live from some of our secret sessions. So hopefully you guys are tuned in to Periscope and Facebook mentions and all the other places we're posting cool stuff, because we'll be sharing the insides, behind the scenes, what's happening. All right, guys, appreciate y'all. Have an amazing day. I'll talk to you guys soon. Hey everyone, this is Russell Brunson again. I want to thank you for listening to Marketing Your Car, and I want to make sure that you're plugging into everything that we're doing on a daily basis. And so make sure that every morning you're plugging into the Marketing Your Car training. If you go to marketingyourcar.com, you can join the email list to make sure you get email notifications when new episodes come out. And you can also get links to all the transcripts of every single show we've done in the past. But then every night, well, not every night, but most every night, I also do a Periscope show called the Marketing Quickie Show. And it's really fun. You can go to Periscope and search my name, Russell Brunson, and subscribe. And every single night you'll get a notification. It'll kind of chirp on your phone, and you'll have me jump on there and give you kind of the end of the day thoughts and ideas and marketing strategies we've been playing with during the day. And maybe even or you should go to marketingquickieshow.com, and over there you can subscribe, you can see past episodes, you can read the transcripts, you can have a bunch of fun. So thanks so much for being faithful listeners. Again, register at marketinginyourcar.com and also marketingquickieshow.com.